Hello stars and welcome to another Foamstars video. And with collabs being so popular inside this day and age, being from Fortnite doing it to Overwatch now doing it to so many other games doing collaborations and crossovers, I feel like it would be good to talk about how Foamstars can handle this when it comes out. Now, I understand Foamstars is not even out yet, but I do feel like Foamstars could have a lot of good collaborations out there. Now, don't get me wrong, there are very many collaborations that Foamstars and Square Enix could potentially work with, especially with like a lot of stuff with like Nintendo, for example, with Sora being added and Cloud being inside the Smash Bros games. I doubt they would add any Nintendo characters, but just, you know, on the safe side, if like Nintendo's like, oh yeah, we owe you one for Sora or whatever, you know, then maybe we could theoretically see some people in like that. But here are some ideas that I have for good crossover skins, I'll call them, to be added to the game. Now, with Square Enix being the company that is making this game, Square Enix has a plethora of games, a whole bunch of games to pick from Life is Strange, Final Fantasy, and like other stuff that some people may not have even heard of, like Octopath Traveler. Like, it's just certain stuff like that. I feel like Square Enix could do a collaboration or a crossover very early on with themselves, just to see if they would want to work with more companies. Now, with this being like their first ever like collaboration for this, I feel for this online service game, I'm not sure. Somebody's gonna have to like backtrack me if I'm wrong, but this would be like their own like collab that they are doing. Well, technically a crossover that they would be doing with Foamstars if they put their own IP like Cloud, Sora, and stuff in the game. And I feel like, honestly, if we talk about like Cloud and Sora right now in the game, we do not have a melee character like at all, even present in the game so far. Now, I feel like that could change overall if they keep adding characters to the future. I feel like this would be great for them to do, with starting off just adding a straight up just crossover character in. For example, like many games will do collabs and stuff like I've been talking about, but there is one game that I played on my other channel called Brawlhalla. And Brawlhalla does a lot of collabs, like all the time, and it's great. But they implemented Rayman as a whole entire character, and that's just because that's an Ubisoft game. Now, don't get me wrong, Cloud is very well known, and Sora is very well known. Now, with them being added, they will have to add some type of melee character into the game, which I feel like would work kind of like the Splatoon melee system. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't know how would they do it otherwise, because I feel like they could implement some stuff, like maybe with his R1, or maybe with like a R1 or his L1, whatever they want to do for Cloud. They could have it for Cloud shoots like his like air slash down, like kind of like how he does in Super Smash Bros, with just a straight out like air slash just being shot down. Now, with his ultimate and other moves, this kind of is very hard to kind of implement what to do. Like, I feel like every like hit, like he'll have to just randomly be hitting to make foam come out, obviously, because he has to spread foam, but obviously not as much. So it's kind of weird for them to add a melee character in this fast-paced game, but it would be cool to see them implement it. Because I do feel like Sora or Cloud would be such an interesting idea to add. Like, Cloud overall, I feel like could work. Like, maybe with your air slash, like, as it slashes down, it spreads foam down, and his ultimate, I guess if we're comparing it with Smash Bros, with his ultimate, him just slashing them up in the air and doing that, then that would be something right there as well. And then, for example, if it's Sora has the different abilities with being like lightning, fire, other stuff that we see him shoot. I'm kind of using Smash Bros as a big example, but that's like the thing that they done that only worked with another company. Now, I should fact check myself, but that would be something right there. As well with Sora, I feel like would be a lot more versatile with like foam being spread and stuff. I feel like Sora would be a lot more versatile in that melee field, being that he can shoot. Let's say he shoots with L1 or R1. But obviously that would be on the cooldown. But you'll be able to kind of switch it with either L1 or R1. And he'll be able to either shoot out the fire, lightning, and stuff like that. Like, I feel like that would be a very interesting concept of having Sora added into the game, with his ultimate in the game kind of working the same as it does in Smash Bros. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, at first I was skeptical about the idea, but that sounds like it would be very, very cool. I won't even lie. Okay. And now since I talked about that for like 10 minutes, okay, let's move on to the next collab idea, which I think is the most like outlandish one, but will be the most hilarious one for them to add. Power washing simulator. Oh my god, if they add that little character, that blue guy in, oh my god, that would be such a troll to add him in. And oh my god, it could be Rave Breaker too. They could add the power washing person as Rave Breaker, because Rave Breaker wants everything to be clean. Oh my god, that's the perfect like crossover idea. Square Enix, if you watch this, please make that happen. I know I talked about Cloud and Sora for the longest time, but Rave Breaker with power washing simulator would be a great idea. Oh my god. Especially like with the lore. I'll pop up the lore on the screen right now for Rave Breaker, but Rave Breaker is a clean freak. If you're just listening to this, so Rave Breaker is just a clean freak, and it being a collaboration with the power washing simulator, that would be absolutely amazing. I won't even lie. And they could even go like the extra mile of like having the skin, but depending on which color foam you're spitting out, your character changes into that type of color. That would actually be great. I would love that for Rave Breaker. Man, that would be great for them. I won't even lie. If they add that, that would be a funny crossover to just put in. Even as just like a little nod. I bet you it would sell too, and then it would bring more notice to Power Washing Simulator for more people that don't know that it's out on like multi-platforms and stuff like that. Oh my god, I would love to overall see that. That would be great to see that as a crossover skin from Square Enix overall. That sounds like it would be. That would be fun. Like, if you guys haven't seen Power Washing Simulator, it's fun. Markiplier played it, and a few other creators have played it, but it's such like a fun, calming game to just sit there and watch and just play. So yeah, I feel like that would fit Rave Breaker with their story and everything as well. That would be like great. I won't even lie. That's like right on the nose if Square Enix does that. Now moving on to another crossover to that. that would be fun to add. I do not know how to pronounce this. I'll try, but please don't hurt me in the comments. The Nara Autometa. I hope I pronounced that right. I am so sorry if I did not. I'll put it on the screen. I am so sorry. But their main character in the game, I've seen a lot of overall as well. I feel like they will be another sword fighter, or they could do it as just a straight up collab. Well, not a collab, but another crossover skin. If they just add her as a skin, it would be great. I feel like they would probably go with her being for Sora. I am so sorry. I don't want to butcher her name, so I'm just gonna put the picture on screen and just have her there. But I feel like she would be great for Sora overall. Oh, Sona. I am so sorry. For Sona overall, for just a skin, not really a character. I mean, she could work as a character. Do not get me wrong, but her being just a skin for Sona, I feel like would be great, and probably like get a lot of people like buying it as well. Don't get me wrong. Now, one thing that I do hope about this game is that they are pretty fair and reasonable with their prices. Now, don't get me wrong, like Fortnite, I feel like does it best. Fortnite, I feel, does it best with how fair they are with their prices and everything. I do feel like that. With Fortnite and Overwatch 2, Fortnite is literally like the best thing kind of when it comes to pricing for skins. Now, don't get me wrong, I really hope Foamstars doesn't start overpricing their skins like how Overwatch is doing. I understand if the skins are hard to make, I do understand that. Or if they're like crossover skins, like let's say if they add Miles Morales or Gwen into the game. I can see Gwen being like Sona or Miles. I don't know who would Miles be, but I can see them adding them in and then them being cost a little bit more, because one, you gotta understand it is a collaboration. Otherwise, when I'm talking about Square Enix IPs, where they can kind of charge what they want on it because it's their IP, so they don't really have to go out of their way to work with another company. They're kind of just working with themselves, so therefore I feel like it shouldn't be priced as much between them working with like Sony and Marvel, for example, which will probably make the skin cost more overall and would be understandably justifiable. Which would, yeah, it would make sense. It would make sense. Okay, I'm sorry again. I know I haven't talked for a while, but it's interesting to me to see how this could go on in the future. If you guys do like this content and you want to see more ideas that I have on crossover skins, collaboration skins, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll make sure to keep an eye out, and I'll have more of these videos planned if you guys do like them. But if you guys did like the video, please make sure that you leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that YouTube stuff, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye!